All right. So the second theme is really talking about what happens when you do things in a rush. So the short period of time that might be subverting some of the processes. And if you go ahead one slide. There are three discussion points in this one, and this is the first two. And so in the lame duck, oftentimes a number of processes, public hearings and review periods, can get bypassed. Now, in all fairness, those kind of things can be bypassed at any time, not just during lame duck sessions, if for some reason the legislature's in a hurry. But when you're at the end and you're rushing at the end, the volume and the speed of bills taken up can go by a lot quicker. I said this in our breakout group, but it needs to be said again here, and that's to remember that there is a human tendency to procrastinate. And I think we've all done this. At the very last minute or on the deadline, we're rushing to get something done. And the legislature, as a group of people, are inevitably going to do the same thing, regardless of when their legislative term ends. But when you do that, it deprives the opportunity for someone to thoroughly read and research and weigh the pros and cons of a bill. Now, that might be the general public, that might be the legislators themselves, or staff or others. And also during these rushed ends, there are marathon sessions. They're meeting late into the night. And so the legislators are on the floor being presented with many decisions and votes. And they're doing so without rest in late hours. And I think all of us are aware of what that does to our ability to think clearly. Sometimes these marathon sessions at the end result in that kind of rush and not clear thinking simply because that's what it is. Other times you might feel that someone intentionally set it up so that that particular topic and that particular bill would be a result of being looked at the very end. And then another thing that can happen when you're rushing through at the very end, you might have a bill that gets completely replaced or turned around into something that's nothing anywhere close to what it was originally. And these are called vehicle bills. A vehicle bill is you take an existing bill and you completely change it into something else. So we might have a bill that talks about painting a building blue. And a vehicle bill amendment would be to completely eliminate everything about painting buildings blue and replace it with buying snowplows. Completely different topic, completely different budget, completely different everything. And we do that in a rush when everybody's not carefully reading, they're tired. A number of things can get pushed through that way. And if I could get you to go ahead 2 slides. So here's the third item for our breakout group. And in this one, because everything is in a rush, you shift the influence to special interest groups. And I would also add, you shift that you push that additional emphasis to state departmental heads, cabinet members, and so on. Some might argue that those groups already have too much power, but it does result in undercutting Mr. and Mrs. Q Public's ability to be heard. It wouldn't be uncommon in a lame duck session for someone to announce that there's going to be a hearing or there's going to be a vote on this particular bill at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. And here we are in Manistee with a 3.5-hour drive plus another 30 minutes figuring out how to park and how to find the committee room or where it is we need to show up. So this accelerated pace also has an impact on the public's ability to react, to show up, to make phone calls, and to be heard.